What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/World News. Putin says he's not ready to recognize Biden as US president. When asked if the move could damage US-Russia relations, he said, "There's nothing to damage. They're already ruined. LMAO, at least he's calling it as it is." Everything Putin did was in line with what private interests have been doing to our democracy for as long as I've been alive. Foreign powers are pulling levers. We installed ourselves into our own system for our good friends at companies like Exxon or Johnson & Johnson. Russia is hardly the only culprit. I do not expect Biden to do anything meaningful to stop it, considering how much corporate money put him office. You mean 200 to 700 B? By many accounts he is far and away the richest man alive, and in some ways the richest man to ever live. What is it even good for to have so much money when you don't boast about it? It really makes no difference to your life after the first billion. Now this is just my theory, but past the first billion, money becomes like a video game scoreboard. When you have more than you can ever use, but it still didn't fill the black hole inside of you, you still crave more and more. Then, money is just the easiest way to measure your progress. Good. I don't want power, I want overall well-being of our planet and species. But if you took just a little bit of power, you could use that power for good. I mean, maybe not for the first 20 to 30 years because you needed to expand your power base. But boy oh boy, imagine all that power used for good in a generation or two. It's trickle-down power, I tell you. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/Politics, Kelly Loeffler's disclosures appear to omit the holding company that operates her private jet. If the Georgia senator knowingly falsified or omitted information from her disclosure forms, that's a crime. She had an ad running over the summer that showed her boarding and exiting her private jet. The message of the ad was something like, "Loeffler loves Georgia so much that she flies her private jet all over the state to carry out her senator duties." It didn't last long though, as I assume her people realized that bragging about your wealth and private jet while thousands of your constituents are suffering from COVID and joblessness may not be well received. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/News. US retailer Guitar Center files for bankruptcy. Debt restructuring bankruptcy. Employees, landlords, suppliers will get screwed as Guitar Center restructures out of debt. And the real winner will be Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween, the ghost of business past. They were bought in 2007 by Bain Capital, which has long been known to drive them into debt and do financial tricks. PitchBook.com then rescued by Ares but not successfully. Bain will buy a company in a leveraged buyout, where essentially the company itself borrows the money that Bain uses to buy it. Because Bain is now the owner, Bain then turns to its employees, landlords, suppliers, etc., and says, "Look, we're losing all this money, you have to take a pay cut." And they are losing money, but it's because they now have huge debt payments. The employees and landlords make concessions, because less money is better than no money. Now the company has lower labor and rent costs, thus higher profit margins. They can then turn around and sell it for a big profit because it's a more profitable company, paying off the debt in the process. The debt is just a trick to force concessions from other parties. And if they don't get concessions, they just go to bankruptcy and restructure, which allows them to stiff creditors, cancel contracts and lay off employees. But you have to be in debt first to go into bankruptcy. Guitar Center began in 1959 as a store selling home organs in Hollywood. I guess Home Organ Center didn't sound as good. Organ dealer it is then. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/Uplifting News. World's largest fur auction house will close as demand for animal pelts drops. My beloved mother-in-law passed away a couple weeks ago. She bequeathed her 1980s-era mink coat to one of her daughters, who is going to keep it stored in a bag in a closet and then likely give it to her daughter, who will likely keep it stored in a bag in a closet. It truly is a thing of beauty, and was likely very expensive, but it's a goddamned relic from a different time. Who the hell wears a fur coat anymore? It's such an oddity. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/News. US reports 195,000 new COVID-19 cases in one day, a record. Exactly. It's now only newsworthy when it isn't a record. 6 days from now they will report 194,000 cases in a day and say we are doing better, time to relax. Restriction. Brace yourself for Thanksgiving numbers. I've been preemptively oofing all month just getting ready for those post-Thanksgiving numbers. Honestly, I'm kinda curious how high y'all can get it. So basically Fauci said 1% mortality rate, so we're looking at essentially 2,000 more deaths. For context, 58,318 Americans died during the entire Vietnam War. Notable cities with 200,000 people: Little Rock, Akron, Salt Lake City, Aurora, Grand Rapids, Columbus, Shreveport. That's their entire population. Every day. Are we winning yet? Data is from Wikipedia, en.m.wikipedia.org. Yeah, honestly at this point, I just view his golf trips as extremely expensive adult daycare. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.